joy of a new voyage far across the Sea of Thieves. Just you, the wide open world, and oh well, it's not just you, she's here too. Oh, and this guy's here. But the point is, this is a shared world, ripe for exploring and raiding with your fine pirate crew.
Oh.
8 cannonballs.
Oh.
We're steering into the storm.
Yeah. The storm is...
I got struck by lightning!
Few things tempt a pirate like the siren song of a lootable shipwreck. Careful though, there could be anything down there. And so you'll shift from the heart of the sea to the island shore, where you'll explore jungles and coves, cliff tops and caverns.
Well, not here, I'm gonna get blasted.
I'm trying to find the way to get to that guy with the cannon, but I can't seem to find a way down.
Go around.
That guy, we'll just leave like the most inexperienced member of his crew just to pilot the ship by herself.
Yeah, if anybody else wants to steer, then please do.
Keep that pistol primed, because you'll also face the roaming remains of those raiders who came before you, caught short in pursuit of their own legends.
That's incredible.
Babe, you killing pigs? You heartless bastard.
We leave this island.
Sea of Thieves is a multiplayer open-world adventure game, developed by Rare and published by Microsoft. You can play with up to 4 friends or strangers, if you're feeling brave. The footage you're seeing throughout this video was recorded by me playing with a 4-person crew, including my girlfriend. That was not a mistake, it was more of a learning experience. I love you, honey. I should say that this game has been available on Xbox and the Windows Store since launch, but it has only just made its way to the Steam Store, so there'll be some brand new audience jumping in for the first time. I played the game exclusively on PC and bought the Steam version, rather than the Windows Store. I also don't have an Xbox. The reason I mention this is going to become clear later. The core gameplay loop consists of start at an outpost, take a quest, the options being kill evil pirate skeletons, find buried treasure, or acquire and deliver cargo. Then hand that back in to an outpost. In this way, Sea of Thieves is a little one note.
Don't want it.
Often when jumping onto an island, there are messages in bottles that will lead you to more treasure, but it's usually another map for another island or a riddle. There's not a lot of deviation from this formula. Having said that, there are special quests called Tall Tales that you can do which offer a bit more variety. Where the game really shines is in its random events. On a couple of occasions, the 4 of us sailed to an island that happened to be covered by a fog cloud, which moves with the wind on the map. Exploring islands was fairly routine, but the lack of visibility, just trying to find the island without crashing into rocks, presented an interesting experience. It led to 2 team members jumping overboard and swimming in the rough direction they thought the island might be, guiding me, the one who was sailing the ship alone, close enough so that we wouldn't lose the ship in the fog. Exploring an island in the fog became a much more interesting task. Looking on the map and using the compass to find the X-marked spot is far more necessary when you have limited visibility. Occasionally when sailing the seas you'll be set upon by ghost ships, megalodons, a big mutant shark thing, or even the dreaded Kraken. Not to mention other players, but interactions outside of your own crew is rare at best. When one of these events did happen, it became a tense standoff. Really? With crew members running around, loading cannons, patching water gushing holes in the ship in an attempt to keep all the loot you had acquired. Times like these are when Sea of Thieves is at its best. When the unexpected happens and you need to move from the normal sail here, find treasure, go to next place, until your ship is full and you go and cash in at an outpost. But what do I do with all the gold I've just gotten from my hard day of pirating? Well, you spend it on cosmetics. That's it. There's no progression system of any kind in this game. You begin with all the same gear as everyone else, minus any cosmetics you might have bought. You can't get new ships, new weapons, new armor, new cannons, nothing. It makes sense for there to be a level playing field so that new players don't get destroyed by people with higher level gear. But it leaves the game with a severe lack of progression. Other than cosmetics, I'm not doing these quests to earn anything. Don't get me wrong, I like playing dress up as much as the next guy. But once I bought a new set of clothes and weapon skins for my character, I didn't know what else to do with the money. The only option was to save for ship cosmetics, which cost a lot more than everything else. I can't help but there's a missed opportunity for some interesting additions. There are only 3 guns in the game, the pistol, the blunderbuss and the sniper rifle, all of which are flintlock. I couldn't help but think that more guns, as long as they were balanced correctly, could be a great addition.
Okay, so what do you need?
Guns. Lots of guns.
For example, a slow-firing machine gun that had a hand crank in order to stick to the game's theme. Unlocking new weapons at a certain level, I think would be a great addition, and just make the game more varied in general and make it feel like you're actually working towards something. To give another example, there are only 3 kinds of boat in the game, a sloop, a brig and a galleon. In that order, they're made from 1 to 4 players. The sloop, being the smallest, is the fastest but has the fewest cannons. I'm sure you can work out what the other ships are like from there. Given the lack of ships, I couldn't help but think of the game that was out a few years ago called Guns of Icarus Online. It was a PC game in which you and 3 others flew a steampunk ship in a deathmatch arena. There were several different types of ship with different layouts. Some were slim and vertical, meaning that there were lots of ladders to climb. Some were more boat-shaped, which made them easier to hit, but it was faster to move around the ship and get to guns and broken machinery. There were lots of ships that had different strengths and weaknesses, and their effectiveness was down to the crew's actions and their teamwork. I think Sea of Thieves would benefit from something like this. The base ships are fine, but if there were unlockable ships that had different specializations, for example, a ship that traded most of its cannons for grappling hooks, that would be perfect to specialize as a boarding vessel. The cannons could fire chain shots to bring down enemy sails to prevent escape. It's this kind of variation that I think would really help the game. Although balancing would definitely be an issue for most new additions, I can't help but feel the game would benefit greatly from a greater variety of everything. Things became too one-note too quickly. They are still updating the game with more missions every few months, and it baffles me that they haven't made any additions outside some new quests where you essentially do the same thing. It would be wrong of me not to mention this game has microtransactions. These purchases are purely cosmetic, however. For some, that might be alright, but for me, I'm not a huge fan. Most of them are new clothing, weapon skins, ship skins, but you can't get them with the standard currency. There are lots and lots of skins to unlock with the normal gold that you acquire through playing the game, but there are specific ones in the real money shop that you can't get anywhere else. This includes pet animals. Probably one of the coolest cosmetic things is you can either have a monkey, a parrot, or a cat and dress them up in cute pirate outfits, but they are not earnable in the game with the in-game currency. They must be bought with real money. When the game's already charging a price for entry, it just rubbed me the wrong way. Be warned, if you're going to play on PC and you buy it through the Steam store, there are a couple of hoops you're going to have to jump through if you want to join your friends in an online lobby. First, you need a Windows Live account. Or Windows account, did they change it? I can't remember. Then you're going to need to go onto the Xbox Console Companion app that's installed in Windows 10. Then you're going to want to add your friends using their either Windows account or Xbox name if they have an Xbox, and then you join through that app, or you can join in the game, but it only works if you have them signed up in the game. Yeah, it's extremely confusing, and that's just something to bear in mind if you're thinking of buying it on the Steam store. It's more integrated if you buy it through the Windows store, but again, there are going to be these hoops to jump through. So, do I like Sea of Thieves? Yes. Do I love it? No. It's a lot of fun to play with friends. If you're thinking of playing alone or with randoms, I wouldn't recommend it. Also, if you have no tolerance for doing the same basic fetch quest formula over and over again, I would also not recommend it. But if you're looking for some mindless fun with a group of friends, then this is definitely the game for your group. I had fun during my time with the game, but having played a decent number of hours, and my crew moving on to other games, I'm not going back by myself. I'm sure in a few months we'll jump back in for a few days and then drop it again. If you play with a group of friends, you likely know what I mean. Hi everyone, I'm off script now, but thank you so much for watching. I like this game, generally speaking. There's a lot to like, but it needs more variety, and I think there's room for that in this game. But if you want to check out some more of the stuff that I do, I also do a podcast it should be every week, but it's more like every month now, called the Double Bet Podcast. I will put a link underneath for that where me and another Ben, there's 2 Bens, talk about video games. We talked about the PlayStation reveal, all the PlayStation games most recently. So if you want to hear our thoughts on those weird ass games, jump over there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't know.